morning to each and every one of you, and what a show we've got for you this afternoon. It's me, Stevie B. It's the Beehive here at Chorley Hospital Radio. How the devil are you? And I'm not alone because she's back again, yes. It's the Queen of the Hive, Ali B.
Hello, hello, hello. Hope you've all been behaving.
And this afternoon we have very little music because it's going to be all chats. Yes, we are trying again. Fingers crossed this works this time. With our guest, with our very special guest this afternoon, it's our boss, Saah Allen.
It's special guest time on the Beehive Show with Stevie B and Ali.
Yes, it's special guest time because we're trying again. We tried this a few weeks ago and I became quite unwell while I was here, so hopefully history doesn't repeat and we can get through the show today. So welcome once again to Sarah.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for giving us another go.
That's all right. Here to help.
Right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to just ignore the first one and we'll do exactly the same as we did in the last one.
Okay.
Up to the point of cutting it short.
Yep. Totally fine.
So we'll be going through the new enough similar questions, just chats, have fun, and just pleasant afternoon.
Okay.
It's not a formal interview, it's just chat among friends. That's what we try to be here.
Okay.
So, first off,
Yeah.
volunteer manager.
Yeah.
Can you give a rough rundown of what that entails?
Well, I'm figuring it out. Every volunteer manager role is different. There are similar things in it. So in this role, my role is to make sure the volunteers are looked after, make sure they're happy in their role, make sure the mandatory training is up to date that everyone loves. But there is only 5 modules now. There used to be, I think there was some ridiculous number, like 20 modules that people had to complete, and they're the same as staff. So that's that part. It's about recruiting new volunteers, looking at new roles, working with staff to see what's needed, what's not needed anymore. And just because something's been going for a while doesn't mean it has to keep going, and we can change it. So my role is really helping the staff and helping the public, help the staff and the patients to improve the patient experience at Preston and Chorley Hospital.
So you're over both?
I am over
hospitals?
both, yeah. Yeah.
Because Preston and Chorley are sort of like twinned.
Yeah, they're both part of Lancashire Teaching Hospitals. I think we've got more volunteers at Preston, but that's just because it's bigger. It's enormous. I am still getting lost on a daily basis.
And I'm presuming that we're recruiting all the time for volunteers.
Not all the time, because
not
there's
physically.
only me. So each volunteer, everyone who volunteers has to get interviewed by me. And if I had recruitment just open every month of the year, I'd do nothing but recruitment. I wouldn't have time to do any of the other parts of my job. So at the moment, what I'm trialling is have 4 opportunities live at a time. Then after a month, review that and see how many we've got, and then add more onto that, unless it's an urgent role that someone really needs volunteers for. But then it can't be too urgent because it can take up to 6 weeks from application to starting, because of all the checks that we have to put volunteers through to make sure they're safe, to make sure we're safe, state patients are safe as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of hoops to jump through, isn't there?
There are. It used to be a lot easier a long time ago, but because of things that have happened, we've got to DBS people, we've got to make sure they're healthy enough to volunteer as well. We don't want to recruit someone to do the hospital guide role, for example, if they're not in good health, like if they can't walk lots, we don't want them doing that role. So that's why we have the occupational health assessment to see if people are well enough to be able to do volunteering. We do not want to set people up to fail at all.
So basically there is a good support
Yeah.
thing for volunteers. It's not just a case of, right, you're a volunteer, get on with it.
Oh no, absolutely not. So I will be new volunteers. I get in touch with them after the first month, after 3 months, 6 months, and then 12 months to see how they're going. But everyone's got my email address, everyone's got my phone number, my office door is always open, so people can come in then as well. But we have set times, and we're recording what people are telling us as well, so that we can review that in 6 months' time and see if there are common trends with people's experiences and see if we can improve things.
So what volunteer roles are available in the hospital?
Many. I've written them down because I always forget one.
Other than hospital radio?
Other than hospital radio, we've got Pat Dog, I believe you had.
Yes, we had Trish
Lynn and
and...
Iska. Not Lynn
No,
and
we had
Iska.
Trish and
Trish
Casper.
and that's another set of dogs.
Which reminds me, I have a CD there, if you could pass
Oh.
it on to them, if you see them.
Oh, I will. Yeah.
That's what
Trish
we
and
recorded last
Casper,
year.
they're the newest Pat Dog recruits. We've also got 2 at Preston as well. So we've got Bentley, who is the staff staff dog. He's a black lab that goes round and gives loves to everybody, and he's beautiful and amazing. And there's also Iska as well, who goes round with her mum to go and visit the patients and go and let patients give them cuddles, but the staff do mob the dogs more than the patients,
Oh, yeah.
which is totally fair enough.
And what's Ishka?
She's like a little brown poodle.
Oh.
She's not a poodle, but she looks like a poodle.
Yeah.
I have been told, but my memory is horrendous and I can't keep things like that in there. But she's adorable. There are pictures on the website of all the service dogs, so that if people do spot them walking around, they know it's not just someone's random dog just wandering the wards.
Right.
They've all got little ID badges as well, and the staff have got the volunteers have got their ID badges. So we've also got gardening role that will be starting soon in 2 of the wards at Preston. They've got outside garden areas, so we're going to get volunteers to be looking after that. The discharge lounge. Baby Beat is a charity at Preston Hospital. They've got the charity shop there, so people can go and get charity shop experience. A new role that's going to be coming up soon is giving support on the radiotherapy department. When people are going in for their first treatments, they've not been to that site before, they don't know where they're going. It's not a nice thing to be able to go in for. So we're going to have welcome guides who will also just go and chat with them, go and sit with them if they need it. But that's not out yet, that will be coming out soon. We've got chaplaincy volunteers that go around both sites, praying with people or just being a nice listening ear, having a chat with them. We've got hospital guides that wander around the hospital, seeing if people are lost and taking them to the clinics, wards, departments where they need to be. Most of the time they're on the main desk, and then they'll go out when people need them to. Similar with information desk volunteers, they give directions around the hospital. So there's loads. There will be more coming soon, but I can't do everything all at once.
So now you've not been doing this particular role very long, have you?
No, January I started, first week in January. So yeah, still getting there. Before that, where was I? I was at Lancashire. No, I wasn't. I was at UCLan before that. I didn't like it very much there. It was an admin role that just didn't fit at all. So I left there. But before that I did 5 years with North West Ambulance Service. Before that I worked with Parkinson's for 6 to 12 months. And before that I ran volunteering at Keele University.
So is this something that this kind of work... sorry, I'll rephrase that one. What makes this kind of work for you more attractive than, as you say, you didn't like the UCLan because it was an office and admin. What is it that makes this kind of work more attractive to you?
Oh, I just love volunteers. It sounds so cheesy to say that about your job, but people are giving up their time to make a difference to someone else when they could be doing something sometimes slightly more exciting. But they choose to come and spend their time in here, and I absolutely love it. I didn't think I wanted to do it anymore. That's why I had the admin job at UCLan. But after working in an office and just looking at a computer and the same 4 people every day, no, I need more diversity. I need to get out and speak to other humans and help them to help other people. And I've done it since I was, I graduated in 2006, and I thought I wanted to work with young offenders. So I went and did some work with young offenders, and they scared the life out of me. So someone suggested I try volunteering to trial some different job roles to see if I liked it.
Yeah.
So then I've been with it ever since. Yeah.
I was just going to say, have you volunteered yourself?
Yes.
Obviously.
Oh yes, I have. I did. I did youth referral panels where young offenders who are pleaded guilty to a first offence, they get a community service order. So it was a group of just normal humans, and they decided on the reparation that young person should do. So I did that for ages. I was a peer mentor as well, and then I started doing stuff directly with the volunteer centre because they couldn't get rid of me. They started giving me tasks to do in there. So I was doing recruitment things, I was designing recruitment campaigns, inputting on databases and things. So I've been involved with it for years and years. I absolutely love it.
Wow.
Most days.
Now, ask this to all my guests. When you're not doing this role, what do you do when you're away from it?
What do I do? So I have husband, child and dog at home, and they take up most of my free time. We love to go walking. We love walking the dog. We love going to the Lake District and things. But mostly it's running around after our 7-year-old who has gymnastics and swimming and after school clubs and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So that's mainly what I do, is look after everyone else. Yeah.
So, as you've only been here so long, have you been getting round to see all the volunteers or the different departments?
Yeah, not as much as I'd like, because there's quite a bit of things for me to do at the back end in admin things, so that I know what I can offer people. So I needed to get a better understanding of the department, how it works, how it's worked before in the hospital. But I am starting to get out more. I do go speak to the hospital guides and the information desk quite a bit, because they tell me where I need to be for my meeting. I've spoken to volunteers in the discharge lounges, because my office at Preston is based in the chaplaincy. I meet quite a lot of those volunteers. I've been down to the baby beat shop and seen them. So I am starting to get out a lot more now, because I've done a lot of the back end stuff now, and there's only so much time you can spend in a small office on your own that's hotter than the sun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to get out and about.
I can see you're a people person, definitely.
Well,
Yeah, I love people.
I think it was the week before you first came in. I
Yeah.
got an email from our studio manager saying that you wanted to meet us all.
Yep.
And I replied to him saying that you were coming in to do the show with me, and I just got a "oh god" kind of reply. So I was just wondering if you'd been and met any of us as well, other than me.
So I've been to Preston radio station a couple of times. Partly one of the reasons was part of the ceiling was falling down in part of the office, so we had to go and get that assessed and sorted. So yeah, I really do want to get out and start shadowing people on the ward, seeing what they're actually getting up to, and also not just for me to get out of my office, to make sure that their role description matches what they're actually doing as well.
Yeah.
So I don't want volunteers to be in a position where they feel like they have to say, yeah, I'll do that, even though it's not really part of their role to do it. So I'm slowly, one role at a time, I'm going around and seeing, does the role description meet what the volunteers are doing? Does it need to change? So I had a meeting with the hospital guides last week at Preston to see, and the information desk volunteers to see, does what you're doing match this job description, which it doesn't. So I'm rewriting it with the volunteers. I'm going to start having more regular catch-ups, because I know a lot of volunteers, they go into the ward or they come into the radio station, or they're chaplaincy volunteers, but they might not see another chaplaincy volunteer because they don't cross over their shifts.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start trying having regular-ish meetings with the different groups of volunteers, so they can meet each other and share their experiences as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went down really well last week with the information desk volunteers. So it's what I used to do in my previous jobs as well. Because then they can all get together and just talk to each other about the role and what they do and why they do it.
Yeah.
And it's beneficial for me then to hear about what's working and what's not working. Because sometimes volunteers, I think, feel like they just have to do what they're doing. They can't complain and they can't say, well, this doesn't work. But if I'm there in that meeting, I can sort of earwig and see what I can fix and see what if I need to do anything then. Yeah.
Now, leading up to you coming in, I did ask you if you'd pick up some. Let me have a list of music that you'd like to listen to. So we're going to be playing some of your choices.
Okay.
Through, and I did mention this when you first came in, but I'm going to mention it again. Out of all the guests we've had, Sarah is the first one to pick a track that has swearing in it.
I didn't know that that's swearing in it.
Now, you did mention that when I first brought this up to you the other week, you did say that there wasn't one in the radio edition, but
Yeah.
I'd not heard of the song before or the artist, which is Sam Fender.
Yeah.
And I just got a version that
Yeah.
was available. So I have cut the swearing out, so don't worry. It's not. it just amused me that our boss comes in and picks something with swearing in, where everybody else is what they do. But you've picked quite a varied selection of music.
I have a very eclectic taste in music.
You sound like me with music, apart from obviously some of them.
There's nothing wrong with "I'm Just Ken" from Barbie.
There is everything wrong with
No,
it.
there is not.
Especially when you're singing it with your daughter or your granddaughter.
It's a music. On the subject of that, it amuses me because of Barbie being the kind of film it was. All female empowerment, that kind of thing. And the only person who gets nominated for an award was Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Everybody's kicking off about
Margot
it.
Robbie was robbed.
I just found it funny. Right, so if you would like to ask any questions to Sarah, there are a couple of ways to do it. We have our Facebook page, which is CHR Presents the Beehive. I have put a message on there already about posing questions, and there is also a chat group set up for questions for guests, so the link is there in the message. So please feel free to ask any questions you want, obviously within reason. And also, just in case anybody's missed it and would like to listen, the majority of the show the show is being recorded, and it will also be put up as a podcast on my my YouTube channel, which is Spiders Web, SPYDAH. And you'll be able to hear it again there in a few days once I've edited it. Unfortunately, there's not going to be any video for it because you're a little camera phobic, aren't you?
I didn't even have photographers at my wedding, so
Really?
me and my husband, we had friends taking pictures on the day, but we didn't have an official photographer. So we do have photos of the wedding, but we can't stand here and pose pictures or smile now on pictures. So we're notorious with our friends for hiding in special occasions, so we don't have to go on photos.
So I will do that. We'll just put some random photographs on of the hospital and that kind of thing. So, just in case you're wondering, you're listening to me, Stevie B.
Me, Ali B.
And I am Sarah A.
That's to get one up. And it's the Beehive here at Chorley Hospital Radio. The Sarah in question is the volunteer manager of both Preston and Chorley. And we're going to be chatting with her this afternoon about different things to do with the volunteer roles. Now, in order to become a volunteer, what do you need to do?
So, I have changed it from what it was when I started. So originally you would just apply to be a volunteer, a generic volunteer, and then you'd have an interview and you'd go through all the different roles and see what you wanted to do. But I've changed that now so that when people are applying, they're applying for a specific role. So if you want to be a hospital guide, you apply for the hospital guide role. Then you get all the job description and all the information that we think you might need for that role, so you know exactly what you're signing up for. I'm hoping that might cut down the time as well that it takes for people to get started, because some of the roles need DBS checks, some of them don't at the moment, so we need our recruitment team to know what the person's going for so that they know which checks to carry out. So they do that. The information is on the NHS Jobs website and on our website, it's getting updated. We're also advertising with Lancashire Volunteering Partnership as well, and we'll be putting stuff on the UCLan website for their volunteering department. So when you've applied, you'll have an interview with me. I'll talk to people about why they're doing it, talk to them about the trust values to see if their personalities match with what we want people to be like. Then if all's good after that, they have the various checks. So they'll have an occupational health check, we'll do references. What else do? We do DBS checks if they're needed, we do right to work checks, and when all that's done, which can take a while depending on what information people have given us, then people get the mandatory training modules to start, and then we'll start them either shadowing or start them on their shift straight away.
And the mandatory training, that can be done either...
Can be done online, but I'm hoping to be able to update what it is now for the next time everyone's mandatory training runs out. So they have to do it at the minute: fire safety, health and safety, equality, diversity and inclusion, infection control, moving and handling, and also a trust induction as well. But I'm hoping that that's on the top of my list, is to be able to update that and change it so it's more relevant for volunteers, because there's things on there that volunteers aren't ever going to have to do. They don't need to be aware of it, so I'm looking into how we can change that to make it easier and a little bit less boring for there might also be, so the ward volunteers will have to do additional training as well. They'll have to do data protection and dementia awareness training as well, because they're more likely to come into contact with someone who's got dementia on the ward, so we want all ward volunteers to have that. So the training will be slightly different for every volunteer.
So it'll almost be specific to the role that you're doing,
Yeah, and I spoke to the nurses and the matrons and the sisters on the wards, and they were the ones that said, we think they'd need to have this, this and this as well. So I'm asking the experts and then they're telling me what they want, so I'm listening.
Hearing it from the first-hand accounts.
They're going to be pretty much managing the volunteers, so when a volunteer goes on the ward, it's up to the matrons, the sisters, the nurses to know that that person's doing what they need to be doing, because I can't manage volunteers on a ward in Chorley when I'm in Preston. So they're just sorting out the rotas and making sure that, and if the volunteers aren't coming in or there's any issues, they get in touch with me and then I'm sorting that side out.
So I was just going to ask, but I think you've almost covered it. Do you have a team beneath it so that when you're not here, you've got someone here sort of like in your stead?
Julie Ingham, who is the volunteer admin assistant, who's been here for years and years and years. She's here.
She's lovely.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays in the mornings. Her hours have reduced lately, so she does 10 hours a week, so she'll be there. But even if I'm not at Chorley, you can still get hold of me, drop me an email or give me a ring, and I can sort things that way. But no, there is just me and Julie at the moment.
Okay. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given? I like throwing odd questions in every now and again.
Thrown me with that one.
Don't expect a normal conversation.
Yeah. I think it's about what me and my husband tell a little girl as well. It's like, do what you need to do and don't worry about what everyone else thinks you should be doing.
Hmm.
Because you know you better than most other people.
Yeah.
So it's about knowing what you're doing and getting on with that, and trying not to listen to all the other voices that are saying you should be doing this, you should be doing that. If you know, then you know. So
I like that.
yeah. Yep. That's it.
I'm looking at my experiences with Andy's Man Club for some of the questions.
Okay.
So that was one of them we was asked a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And my answer was, as you travel the highways and byways of life, always remember to never put your nose going over speed bumps.
Very good. Yeah.
Funny.
Now, when it comes round to the volunteer positions, I know you did cover on some, but are there any that are available now for people to?
Yeah, so at the minute you can apply for the ward volunteers. I'm going to have to think about that because I can't remember what's currently advertised. Let me check and I will answer that question in a minute.
We'll have a chat about each individual volunteer role
Yep, no, that is
in
fine.
a moment. So we're just this is good radio. This is good radio.
Yeah.
So we've as well as hospital radio, ward volunteers, as I said, gardening. One that was mentioned last week, I think, was going around with the tea and coffees. Were they volunteers as well?
Yeah, we don't have any of them at the minute. They stopped during COVID and haven't started up since. But it is something I would like to bring in. But I don't know when, because as I've just pointed out, I can't even remember what roles I'm advertising at the moment. So that is something I would like to bring back because I think patients really like it, and it's just something that's really nice. So it could either be the library or it could be a food trolley that just comes around the wards, and it's a really nice volunteering role as well. It's not taking loads of time. You'd obviously only be able to do it during the day. You couldn't have volunteers going around during the evening because people are trying to sleep at meal times and visiting times and stuff. So yeah, that's something that I would like to bring back at some point. That is also on my whiteboard in my office to look at.
And then there's the little cafe areas that volunteer as well, or is it
Rosemary Cafe in Preston?
No, the one here
No,
near
the
the
little-
entrance.
Oh no, that's run. I think that's hospital run now. They're not volunteers
Is it?
anymore.
Right.
Yeah, because the Royal Voluntary Service used to run them, but then I think the Royal Voluntary Service pulled out of quite a lot of the hospitals for whatever reasons, and then they're paid staff now on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't realise that.
Yeah.
So did you manage to find what you were looking for? No.
Oh well.
So there are different volunteer roles, not just hospital radio. And if you were interested in taking part in any of these, just get in touch. You've had the information already of where you can get in touch through, and we will be able, or Sarah will be able to help you as much as possible to get where you want to go. And if
Can
you
we
can't,
put your contact details on our Facebook page so then people can contact you that way as well?
Yes.
So,
No, can't find it at the moment. Play a song while you're waiting.
right. Well, in that case, we have been given permission to play a song, so we'll play the first three songs. Now, is there any specific meaning behind these songs, or is it just songs you like?
Some of them are just songs that I like. I
Okay,
can't
cool.
remember what ones I've asked for now.
Well, we will.
ooh, it's a surprise.
We will talk about them after we play the first three, starting
Wow.
off with a little bit of David Bowie. And there we are. We started off with David Bowie with Space Oddity, and then Sam Fender and 17 Going Under, followed by Phil Collins and In the Air Tonight. Now, were any of those anything that actually means something to you?
Well, Phil Collins, my mum loves Phil Collins and used to be playing it all the time when I was at home, when I used to live at home, so I love Phil. Sam Fender, just because I love Sam Fender. But David Bowie, that's from when I was younger. I used to watch Labyrinth all the time.
Oh, one of my favourite movies.
So, love of David Bowie, really.
I frightened my grandson the other day.
Oh yeah, you could. I wouldn't let my little girl watch
Sorry.
it now. It's just them tights are too tight.
Sorry, it wasn't me. Was it Brody? Was it Isabel that I frightened the life out of? Because I just walked over and stood behind her and went, Ludo, friend! And she jumped up with her skin and ran.
No, I think it was Brody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was so funny. But I love that movie.
Yeah.
And I can't wait until my granddaughter's old enough, because I've got a Labyrinth t-shirt and she keeps coming over and saying, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And I'm telling her all about it. And
Yeah, good film. I don't think my little girl would like it. I think people with the head, the ones that take the heads off,
I love them.
they used to freak me out when I was little. So I don't think she'd like them. But she loves films like The Goonies and things.
Oh yeah.
She loves The Goonies.
Oh, yes, another one of my
E.T.
favourite
and
films.
stuff, yeah. But no, I love 70s and 80s music as well.
What does ET stand for?
Extraterrestrial.
No, he's only got short legs. Can't get on the chair.
That's horrendous.
So, okay, we're talking about movies. What's your favourite movies?
I couldn't possibly pick one. You'd have to go for a genre of. So, I will watch any type of film. I'll watch the Downton movies. I'll watch Gladiator. I'll watch Kill Bill. I love massive variety of different films. I think favourite recent film was Barbie. I loved Barbie. Absolutely fell in love with that film. My little girl did as well. We do watch quite a few musicals now as well, because she's getting into musicals. We love Hairspray and The Greatest Showman.
Oh, cool.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Huh?
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I think she's been a little bit of Rocky Horror Picture Show. But yeah, I love great big epic films with me and my husband. We absolutely love Hans Zimmer as well. We've been to see him.
The music. His music's
live.
brilliant.
When we went, he was like, so what's this going to be like? We're going to be listening to classical type music. But it was absolutely amazing. It was epic. It was fantastic. So we love a bit of a good soundtrack as well.
Yeah, they're often better than the music, than the actual movie itself. The music.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, love them.
I mean, in the case of Dirty Dancing, the music is brilliant. The actual movie's a pants, but yeah, it's one of those I sat through once with my ex-wife, and I thought, that's an hour or so of my life I'll never see again.
Yeah. No, I've got like my taste in music. I'll go from one extreme to the other. But yeah, I love Kill Bill films. I
One
love
or
Quentin
two.
Tarantino. Oh, I quite like the second one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I love them both. Yeah, but I can't pick a favourite film. I love too many different types of them. I can't pick one that I'd. Tell you what was I didn't think would be good. The new Top Gun film. I did not know how that was going to go, because I thought, how can you make a sequel of a film that was that good in the 80s? And it's good.
Is he in it much though?
I've seen it a few times.
Is Tom Cruise in it much?
Of course, it's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He has to be in everything.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
No, it's
But
good.
is it? Do they actually act different in it to make it less like?
No, he's Maverick.
Oh,
He's the same.
right. Okay, cool.
You're not like Tom Cruise films.
I don't know. It just they seem to be all rolling to like Mission Impossible now.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
The only Tom Cruise film that isn't really a Tom Cruise film, where he's playing Tom Cruise, has got to be Legend.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's when he was a kid, and Tim Curry plays the great big devil kind of character in it. It's a brilliant movie.
I've never heard of that.
It's one of the the 80s ones like Goonies and Dark Crystal and things like that. It's one of those kind of fantasy movies. Brilliant movie.
Oh no, I've never seen that. Never heard of it.
But I think it's one of the first ones he did. I think it was only about 17, 18, something like that, when he was in it.
Although I liked him in Rock of Ages.
Oh yeah, Rock of Ages is brilliant. I love Rock of Ages. Yeah.
Yeah.
He ruined Mummy.
Oh, that was terrible.
He ruined the Mummy because he wanted to make it something that it wasn't, and completely ruined it and spoiled the franchise from starting up.
Oh, I love the Brendan Fraser Mummy films
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, yeah.
They're fantastic.
Because I know they were trying to bring back all the old classic horror characters,
Yeah.
and the first one they did was the Mummy. When they got him involved, he wanted too much. He had too much control over it in the way it went, and made it an action. They made it a Tom Cruise film, and
I didn't like that.
yeah, spoil it.
Yeah.
They've not done one since.
Yeah. I'm not great.
Completely killed the budding franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, not a fan of that one.
So, okay then, if we don't have a favourite movie, would you have a favourite musician?
Does Hans Zimmer count?
Yeah. Yeah, he does play instruments. He doesn't
He
just
does.
compose.
Plays a multitude of instruments, yeah. Hans Zimmer.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, there's Hans Zimmer and John Williams both.
Yeah, John Williams is good. Does good soundtrack.
And then there's John Williams as well.
Yeah, no.
There's two John Williams.
Is that?
Is there?
Yes, there's an Australian guitarist who was with Sky.
Oh.
He did Cavatina, you know, from...
As opposed to Virgin.
yeah, as opposed to Virgin.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get good jokes, eh? You just get throwaway lines and hope for the best.
I like it. Terrible joke.
But yeah, the thing from the Deer Hunter, that was John Williams.
Yeah, he did.
Cavatina.
He did all the
But
Harry Potters, and he's done.
Yeah,
all
but
sorts.
I'm talking about the Australian guitarist.
Oh.
The John Williams who did the Star Wars and E.T.
Yeah.
and that. It's a different fella. He's an American composer.
Yeah. Oh, Star Wars films. I love the Star Wars films as well.
Ooh.
Star Trek for me.
Oh no.
A lot of people don't like the newer ones.
That's because they're awful. After the first three movies, episode 4, 5 and 6, it went really downhill.
Yeah, no one likes Jar Jar Binks.
No.
No.
But there's a theory that he was supposed to be one of the Sith Lords.
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, he was supposed to be one of the Sith Lords because on the big battle, where he was dancing about and throwing himself all over the place, it was a case of the thinking it was him trying to disguise the fact that he wasn't doing anything to help the Jedi.
Oh. No, I never. No, because I don't like them films. Them the ones that they went back and were the first episodes. I don't like them, so I haven't watched. I only watched them once or twice.
You've not watched them, have you?
No.
Didn't want to.
Well, I've watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then after that, no.
Yeah.
No, they started messing about with them too much
Yeah. Yeah.
and changing things.
Come up with some new ideas rather than redoing them again.
What's your favourite TV show?
Oh, favourite TV show. Currently or ever?
Yes.
That means both.
I'm watching Shogun at the minute on Disney. I love that.
Oh, the original.
Really
Richard
like
Chamberlain.
that. Obviously, Friends. Everybody loves Friends. We used to watch that all the time. Friends. Again, yeah. We used to watch ER as well.
Yeah.
With George Clooney getting better looking as he gets older.
Yeah.
But,
I was more to St. Elsewhere than ER.
You were what? Sorry.
I was more into St. Elsewhere than ER.
And House was good as well. Blackadder. My all-time favourite TV series is Blackadder. I love Edmund.
Yeah,
Can do no wrong.
I had a habit of watching the very last episode on Remembrance Day.
Oh,
Every year I would watch that episode
yeah. It's
because
good
it's just stupid all the way through, and then that episode is just so, it goes from being stupid into being incredibly serious and haunting, and
Yeah.
it's a beautiful episode.
Yeah. Well, we watched it when I did my GCSEs years ago. My history teacher showed us the Blackadder episodes. when we were learning about World War II. I think most of us learnt more from that than we did from textbooks and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's funny and
Yeah, 'cause it's funny.
Even though it was set in World War One.
Yeah, sorry, getting mixed up. World War One. Yeah. No, it was good. I love Blackadder.
one for you and your husband when your daughter's gone to bed. We've started watching Reacher.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
okay.
TVC. Yeah.
It's really good.
Oh.
And he's a lot better at it than Tom Cruise. How Tom Cruise could be Reacher, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, stop the endless scrolling through Netflix and Disney and stuff, doesn't it, when someone gives you a recommendation?
Yeah. And another one for when your daughter goes to bed. There was one called Evil as well, and that was, is it Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
Evil.
scary? I don't like scary. I'm a giant pansy.
It's not scary,
Scary.
but it has its moments.
I'm not
It's
good
more
with scary
it's
at
more
all.
creepy than scary
I don't
in
like
some cases.
creepy. No, I can't. My other half.
And you work here?
No, he loves scary films, but I can't. No. We went to see 28 Days Later. I saw about 20 minutes of it because I kept hiding in my coat.
Oh.
I think we went to cinema to see Saw when that came out.
Oh no, I
I
don't do
love
that.
those movies.
No,
I don't do.
Don't do
That's
scary.
where we differ. I can't know.
Don't do scary. Even slightly scary. Like Stranger Things, everyone loved that. I didn't like it when there was a weird thing coming out the wall. Didn't watch it again.
Oh. No, she won't like George then.
No, she won't like George.
No.
No.
Well, George is more funny than scary. Well, for me anyway. I thought it was.
No, don't do scary. Anything scary. No. I'm a big wimp.
Mm. It's my
Right,
days
so-
for Halloween.
Yeah, so did you manage to find what you were looking for?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the roles that we are currently advertising are ward volunteers, and it can be there are specific wards that are asking for them. I do not know them off the top of my head, and they're not on the website. They're on my spreadsheet. So we're looking for volunteers to go on the wards to help with meal times, not to feed patients at all, but to help take food over when it comes through from the kitchens, to make sure that patients have got drinks, to keep the every ward stocked up for the nurses, because the nurses are busy nursing. They don't always have the time to be restocking things that need doing, but it's important that it does get done so they have got the things that they need when they need it. There's also similar role in the emergency departments, both at Preston and Chorley. You can volunteer there. I'm waiting for confirmation on what time the shifts can be till, because I'm not sure if we want volunteers to be there on a Friday night at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I don't think I'd want to put volunteers in that sort of situation, so I'm waiting to see what the definite times are for when volunteers can finish. Rosemary Coffee Shop are looking for volunteers again. That's based at Preston in the cancer centre. They do making brews, toasties, stuff like that. They offer a listening ear as well, so people who want to have a chat, who haven't got someone with them, they'll sit down and have a chat with them. And we've also got pre-op patient support. So this is helping the orthopaedic pre-op clinic to get patients from one area to the next area seamlessly, so no one gets lost and patients feel supported. And they're also going to be helping make up the green packs that they need to take into their next appointment as well. So that's a new role. So that'll be
Will you shut up? I'll put you on silent 3 times.
yeah, that's a new role that we're recruiting for. I don't think we've had that one before, so we're just waiting to see how many applications we get and how that one goes as well. Next round there'll be a gardening role. The radiotherapy role will be going next as well. The gardening role and something else. So I'm going to try and do them in groups of 4 or 5. Because it's just me interviewing, I don't want to spend my entire day, entire week interviewing. So we're going to trial that, see how that goes. So yeah.
When the music was playing, you said you had an idea for a scheme for later on in the year.
Oh, the volunteer to career? Yeah, something my boss really would like me to do as well. So it's about giving people the opportunity to volunteer in a role and get experience. So people might not have experience of paid jobs before. They've not ever had a job before, or they've got things that keep them back, so they might not have the confidence to. So we're going to do a volunteer to career, I don't know what it'll be called when we have it. We'll probably look at it towards the end of the year, where people can get experience on the wards, and there'll be a guaranteed interview. They're not a guaranteed job at all whatsoever, but they'll be able to have an guaranteed interview. So there'll be other sections to it as well. There'll be training, not just the 5 modules that volunteers have to do. There'll be additional things that different departments will feed into it as well. So what I think it's going to be like is like a mini course with volunteering attached to it to get the practical skills, and they'll also get the softer skills from the sessions that they're going to go to as well. But there's not a lot of detail on that yet because I'm still looking into it.
It's a little seed at the moment.
Yes.
Yes.
It will grow at some point in time. But I'm just trying to get all the basics in place first, and then I'm going to start on the bigger projects when I've got a better understanding of what everything is.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So let's go back and concentrate more on the actual roles and duties that are involved with each role.
Yeah.
So if we take step by step, so ward visiting,
Yeah.
what would be expected from volunteers when they're going around on the wards?
Yeah, so it will vary from ward to ward, depending on what the matrons and the ward managers need. But basically, they will be doing going around and seeing if people need drinks and restocking their shelves and things. It might be that they need them to run errands or bloods to somewhere. It's up to the wards really how much responsibility they give to the volunteers, how much they think that they need someone to do. So volunteers can go in and do 2 hours for all the roles. The set minimum's about 2 hours, because I think that's enough time for them to be able to figure out what they need to be doing, to start doing it, and then to come in either the next day or the next week and carry on with that role. So we don't want to set people up to come in for about 6 hours, because the staff don't want to be having to keep telling people, no, you need to do this bit next, you need to do this bit next. Volunteers are there to help, not to... They can ask questions, but they can't be asking questions every 2 minutes because their nurses are trying to do their job.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be the same on most of their wards, yeah.
Okay, so for hospital radio.
Yeah. Well, you two would know best about hospital radio. I'll pass that question back to you. What would you want people to be doing?
Presenting shows during the day,
Yep.
as well as in the evening. Ward visiting to get requests.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what else, because this runs slightly different to the one at Wrightington. So what we do at Wrightington, we're all self-supported over there, where the hospital supports us here. So we wouldn't need things like
Funding.
fundraisers and stuff like that here. Or not as much anyway. I'm trying to think. Okay.
We don't need the fundraisers, but I think we need the
Promotional.
things. Yeah. So then people actually know about us.
Right, I get you. Yeah.
Like with the cafe, we ran internet the internet, so they could have us via internet radio
Yeah.
instead of listening to BBC One Radio or whatever. Other radio stations are available,
Yeah, but
including ours.
Yeah, but we prefer you to listen to us, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. Gardening.
Gardening, again, that is new. We haven't got anyone yet, and I've just finished the risk assessment for it, but that will be, I'm trying to think of the wards now, they're both at Preston, so it will be, it's not going to be like ground force or anything like that. They'll be doing small bits of planting, making sure the areas look nice for the volunteers and for the staff and the visitors as well, so people will be able to go into them. Yeah, it's just a nice role because the staff, like I say, we've got groundskeepers and we've got estates, but they've got a massive site both here and at Preston to look after.
Yeah.
So we just got these little sites for volunteers to be able to go. And gardening's really good for people's mental health as well. Well, when things grow and go to plan.
Yeah.
I am not very good. Most of my plants die. So yeah, that'll be, and one of them, I can't remember which one now, but they've got little pots of funding already. So the volunteer will be meeting with the ward staff and saying what do they want them to be doing, and then they'll set up a work plan, and then they'll work to that work plan so that they know what they're going to be doing each week. But yeah, there doesn't have to be loads of people doing it, but at least then the gardens are getting a bit of love, so they can be used by people, because they are looking a bit unloved at the minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So what other volunteer things are there? I'm trying to remember myself now. Is the help desk?
Help desk, yeah, so
Info
they're
desk.
at Preston and at Chorley, and they help people to find their way around the hospital. So we need people, I'm not sure how many we need for Chorley, because Chorley, where the volunteers go, is quite a small area, so we can't have more than probably 2 or 3 people on. We will be increasing Preston, to have 3 people per shift there. It's following on from the meeting I had with them, because volunteers go on holiday, volunteers are off sick, volunteers can't make it in one day. So if we have at least 3 people on every day, it's more likely that there'll always be at least one person covering the morning shift or the afternoon shift that way. So yeah, we've got them as well. Super helpful, lovely.
Yeah, so what's expected from people on the help desk?
They are expected to have a good knowledge of the hospital, not to start with, but they'll learn it. So at Preston they've got this massive folder with all the different wards in, with the contact numbers of all the different wards and the directions of how to get there. So they gradually just pick it up, and we are now going to start having volunteers who are going to be the trainers. So when people are starting, they'll get in touch with the volunteer trainer, and they'll go through things with them and do shadowing shifts with them, because not everyone wants to be a trainer. Not everyone's got the confidence to, not everyone just wants to. So we're going to start doing that as well and trial how that goes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think of other roles. I mean, you have already said what's expected of people when going on the surgical wards. We're doing the pre-op packs and going in with them. I can't think of any others. There are probably a hell of a lot more, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
We're
I just
trying
want
to do bits at a time rather than taking on too much.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get an idea of what is expected for the different roles. Yeah. Just turn up and do what you can.
Turn up and ask questions at the start of your shift, and let people know if you're not sure about something. That's for every single volunteer. Turn up when you say you're going to. Make sure that you're wearing the definitely your ID badge and the t-shirt or the tabard, whichever they're deciding to wear, and just make sure that you're making a difference and not being a pest.
And is there any sort of like hard and fast rules about what you can and can't wear or do when you're especially on wards?
Wards, you've got to be bare below the elbows, and you can't have loads of jewellery on your fingers as well because of infection control. But no, I think that's about it. You can pretty much wear whatever you want as long as it's not going to offend anybody, I suppose. So that's where the t-shirts come in handy, because you know when you go into the hospital you're going to be wearing your volunteer t-shirt and you're going to have your ID badge on, and then you're already bare below the elbows if you're on a ward or on a clinic. You don't have to worry about it then.
Or can't have nails when you're on the ward.
No, you can't have false nails either. You can't have false nails on a ward, because you don't want to be explaining that to a family at some point in time if your nails have pinged off somewhere.
Ours don't. Ours are proper acrylics.
You won't be allowed on the ward with acrylics.
So you can tell we don't do ward visiting, so we have acrylic. You go out for a meal. Do you like starter, main course, or desserts? And what would it be?
All 3.
Fair enough. Go on then. Your ideal meal.
Ideal meal. Tough questions today. Obviously something chocolate for dessert, because I am a chocolate monster. Depends what kind of restaurant it is. I love a bit of Greek food, love a bit of tapas. I love bread and oils as well, that could be my starter. Yeah, no, I love a bit of Mediterranean food. So yeah, tapas probably, because then you can have a bit of everything and steal other people's at the same time.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That was another one of the questions that we was asked at Andy's Man Club last week, and we're just going to take a brief pause while I change the CD to talk a little bit about Andy's Man Club. So I'll pass that over to Ali, or Sir, if you want. Sorry, I'll just pass it over to Ali, rather, and then you can read that while I'm sorting the CD out.
Okay. Andy Man's Club.
Right, we're off. Oh dear Lord, all this so I can make sure that I get everything on the YouTube channel. Right, so Viva La Vida by Coldplay, Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine, and as I said, we had a demo version first, and decided to change that to have a proper version of it on, and then something called I'm Just Ken by Ryan Gosling. If you could see Sarah's face now, you'd
Love it. Absolutely love it.
So, any of those that have a meaning for you, the way you've picked them, or is it just one you like?
Well, I love Florence.
Hmm.
I love everything that Florence does. But I also love Guardians of the Galaxy, and that song in the last Guardians of the Galaxy film was just absolutely epic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they probably sit in my favourite films as well, because I love all the Marvel films.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I can't have a favourite.
Hmm.
I just love all of them. The Ken, because it's just an epic. Me and my little girl sing that in the car, full belt. And Coldplay, me and my husband just absolutely love Coldplay. Always have since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know him at the beginning, but yeah, we just both absolutely love Coldplay. I'd love to go and see them one day. But yeah, just love them all. But yeah, Ken's because my little girl likes singing that as well.
Hmm.
She knows all the words.
Oh, right. So we were talking about what were we talking about before we? Well, you were talking about something. Is it something you want to talk on about, or?
Oh, no, well, I can talk. I was just saying about the chaplaincy, if there's any volunteer roles going over there, and we'll. But we're going to have is it Simon?
Simon, yeah.
Simon in a couple of weeks, so we can talk about that more then. But I wanted to know if you knew of any other role type thing, because I have a different belief system.
Yeah.
And through looking at other hospitals, it seems like even though there was like a other faith person, the pagan or other that line of things wasn't generally on it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, so that you speak to Martin McDonald, who's the lead chaplain.
Okay.
Because it's his department really, so it's up to him what things go there.
Yeah.
So yeah, give him a shout. Or
Okay,
Simon
okay.
when you see him in a couple of weeks,
Mm.
and they'll
Okay.
be able to give you more information about that.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah, because we're getting Simon in. We said about next month, so that would be.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
Within
he's
chat.
based here a lot more than at Preston. So yeah, he'll just come over from the office. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Brilliant. So, you've been listening to me, Stevie B.
Me, Ali B.
And Sarah A.
Yes, it's the Beehive here at Chorley Hospital Radio. Sarah is our volunteer manager for both Preston and Chorley, and she's here for another half an hour,
Yeah.
near enough. Unfortunately, I have to go and crack the whip with some
Yeah,
other people.
got work to do. Got a to-do list to stop adding to and get through instead. Yeah.
Well, I hope this has been a nice break for you.
It has. It's been lovely. I love
Bit of a
getting out of the
distraction.
office. Not staring at the walls.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than sitting there talking to yourself in four walls. He says, looking around the studio on the phone. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to Sarah, and it's given you some inspiration for getting in contact to give up a little bit of your time to help us. some inspiration for getting contacts with.